We have tried so many already this season, and it's so annoying because it's so preventable. It's shocking. It's honestly so bad. In a game they had no chances in, according to our manager. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to The Golden Sky. I'm Tom, and in today's video I am going to be analysing Liverpool's disappointing 2-2 draw with Fulham that took place on the weekend. Today we are going to get into everything that we usually do on these tactical videos. First going to show you the board and what you need to be looking out for in the clips that I will then show you for the remainder of the video. So let's not waste any more time, let's get right into it with the board to start off today's video. Okay, so Liverpool in this game lined up with another different formation. We have tried so many already this season. We've seen the 4-3-3, we've seen a diamond, we've now seen a 4-4-2, we've seen variations of a 4-1-4-1, we've seen a 4-4-1-1, we've seen false 10s, we've seen so many different things. We even saw a 3 at the back against Crystal Palace in the Cup. We are yet to find a real solution, and at the minute, the players that we have available to us are forcing us to play certain types of ways. So we've got no striker in this game fit, so Gakpo and Wirtz played as our two strikers. Now, it was more Gakpo the focal point, and it did sometimes become a bit of a 4-4-1-1, especially when we had the ball. Out of possession, it was certainly this, what you're seeing on your screen now. Now, the problem we have here is the midfielders, when you play a 4-4-2, you need your two centre mids to basically be able to do everything on the pitch, because they have to run box to box, they have to run wide, they have to be able to attack, defend, pass, tackle, shoot, they have to do everything. Now, McAllister and Gravenberch are good players, but I wouldn't say that they have all of those attributes in abundance. You also need your wide players to be threatening wide players with pace. And usually when you play a 4-4-2, you have your left midfielder is left-footed and your right midfielder is right-footed. So then you have natural width given by your left-footed player wants to go wide on his left foot, and the right-footed player wants to go wide on his right foot. Now we obviously have Szoboszlai over here. Jones, not really a winger. He's okay defensively as a left midfielder, but in the attack, doesn't have the pace, doesn't have a left foot, doesn't have the attributes to play the position because it's not his. But needs must, this is what we played. And what this meant in the game, and what you'll see in some of the clips that I'll show you, is just how completely toothless we are as a result. So many times we would have the ball, let's say, in this kind of area, and Jones maybe would have it. We'd have Kirkes wide, Gakpo would be somewhere here, Wirtz also, and then more often than not, it was actually Bradley on this far side. And we'd have Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, with Van Dijk and Konate backing them up. The problem we've got is, when you look at the personnel for us on this pitch, there's not a single player here with any real pace, or anyone who's really willing to make runs in behind, bar Gakpo every now and then. Every now and then. Other than that, it's all very much, we want to pass the feet, we want to swing the ball from side to side, we want to go back, we want to go sideways. No one is really dribbling. No one is really, except Wirtz, no one is really capable of taking a man on and beating them with pace. And when Fulham play this really rigid sort of 5 at the back that we've seen so often against us this season, that we struggle to break down when they sit back like this, the space is difficult to find. And that's where you might need a player to commit a defender, sort of be able to get around them and then commit another one. Maybe you can find an opening. We don't have that in our team at the minute. But we also struggle, and something that I really want to focus on in this video is something Arne Slot keeps on saying, which just drives me mental. He just keeps on saying, after we lose games or draw games, whatever, that we are not giving up any chances, that the other team is having hardly any chances, and yet we are still not winning. He is just wrong. We are giving up chances, too many of them, and they're too good quality chances. And I don't really understand why. When a team is playing such a defensive formation, having hardly any of the ball, we shouldn't be giving up so many chances. We are so easy to make chances against. We put our defence in sort of this situation so many times, and they could just loft balls, Fulham, over the top. They got in a few times like this, and the goal, it comes from us being in this 4-4-2, as I showed you at the start, where we're lined up like this. Jimenez, really central, the two centre-backs, here. Bradley's too far out wide. He's concerned over here. Wilson has floated over into this pocket. And then they have the midfielders, excuse me, like this. The defenders forwards, like so. They just pass the ball. They make a movement. Jimenez can get the ball, flicks it around the corner. Bradley's too high. This is not acceptable. We've got so many players here who can deal with this situation. You'll see it on the goal. I'll show you on the clips better. Let's go and look at them and see what I mean. All right, so this is literally kick-off for the game, and I just left this one in to show you the 4-4-2. So Gakpo and Wirtz, the front two, as you can see, and then we have the midfield four here of Szoboszlai wide right, Gravenberch, McAllister, and Curtis Jones. That is the midfield four. That is how we set up in the game. This is just here to give you that example, as we talked about on the board. Now, as we move on in the game, this is early on. This is us trying to mount an attack. What you'll see, Wirtz has the ball. He's drifted out to this left-hand side. And now we do actually have players in the box here, filling the box up, but no one really, you would say here, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Bradley, outside of maybe Gakpo, who's half decent in the air, no one's really a threat in the air for a cross. And the play isn't really there for Wirtz to, cross the ball. Fulham are too deep. They've got big players ready to head the ball away. So Wirtz does try to make a little bit of an angle to cross the ball in, maybe to this back post. Maybe Bradley can get in. But it gets blocked. The ball comes to Jones. And now this is where you see us just really struggle without anyone who can dribble or drive the team forward. And we just take too long to do absolutely everything. That's the main tactical problem with Liverpool at the minute, is everything takes way too long. No one is decisive. No one is quick in their thoughts, in their movements, anything like that. It's so lethargic and slow and easy to defend against, to be totally honest. And you see that here with Jones. I mean, picture Harrison Reed's goal, for example, right at the end, which you'll see at the end of this video. This is a similar position, and he just gets the ball out of his feet and he just unleashes it into this top corner. Now, that's probably never going to happen every time you shoot. I mean, Jones, I'm not saying is going to do that here, but the quick decision certainly helps. Jones here, he wants all the time in the world. If you look, he dribbles and dribbles and dribbles until Issa Diop comes out to face him. Now, all of the angles that he had to pass the ball have now gone, except he can go backwards to McAllister, or he can go out wide again to Kirkes and let Fulham shuffle across. Instead, he tries a little turn. He ends up in the box. He's now dribbled like this. That was basically his dribble path. He's got precisely nowhere. He's took nobody on. He's just took loads and loads of touches of the ball for no real reason. And I'm not getting on Jones in particular. I don't blame him for what he's doing. He's trying to create something. I understand that. But it's just, everything is too slow. Look how stagnant everyone is. Szoboszlai has not moved since this move started. Neither has Bradley. Gakpo has moved out a little bit, to be fair to him. No one else is making a run anywhere. There's nothing for Jones to hit. He tries now to force a ball through to Wirtz. It's a really difficult ball to play. He's got to get it through two players and through through Castagne's legs if he's going to get the ball there. He doesn't, but it does ricochet over to Cody Gakpo, who can now have a shot sort of on the swivel as the focal point. And this is the best we get from that attack. And it's not great, is it? I mean, this is why I've left this in. We're not creating real high-quality chances a lot of the time from attacking areas. Look here, we've got our whole team, bar Van Dijk and Kanate, are in this attacking third. Yet, we are so easy to defend against. There's no danger, really. And if Gakpo's having shots on the swivel from here that get blocked, you're living with that if you Fulham all day long. Now, what's a little bit harder to play against, and this was maybe our best move of the first half, certainly our best chance of the first half, or maybe there was one more, which I'll show you after this. And again, it comes from Jones, who I didn't think had a great game, really, in this one, but you're doing some good work here. And now, what he's going to do, if you look at our team, you'll notice straight away that there's a complete lack of a focal point. Once again, we have nobody occupying any of Fulham's defence, really, except at left back. You can't quite see Cody Gakpo, but that's where he is at the minute. He's on his normal wide left position. McAllister's the one who's trying to fill up that space. You can see he's asking for the ball. He wants this pass to come through here like this into his feet. He's checking his shoulder. He's making sure he's got space here behind the centre back, in front of the centre back. Sorry, but Fulham have three centre backs on this pitch with no one to mark. It's very, very easy unless you make runs in behind. And that's actually what we do here. Jones is able to find Gakpo. You see now he's coming to the screen. He's making a nice diagonal curved run. It's a run that we've seen Mane make for us many, many, many times when he was here. You see Anderson has clocked onto it. He's the one who's like, I see what's happening here. Fulham are in a bit of a weird defensive line. They're not necessarily deep and they're not necessarily high. That's how you get killed with balls over the top. And Jones gives it to Gakpo over the top. It's a decent ball. It's not amazing. It's a decent ball. This is his first touch has caused him to end up in this situation. And I'm going to really, really overanalyze Gakpo's touches here. You might think this is overkill, but I think it's necessary. So he's had one touch of the ball. He has 4 touches of the ball in this movement, by the way. He's already had 1. Okay, now this is his second touch, and this is why Gakpo is such a frustrating player at the minute, and why a lot of Liverpool fans are really getting onto him, and why he doesn't seem to be the most popular guy amongst Liverpool at the minute. It's because he's just not delivering enough. We want better from him. We want more output. We want to see more ruthlessness, in a sense. Anyway, Gakpo takes the ball, first touch. Means that he has to sort of lean back on himself and take a sort of heavier touch with his right foot to set himself into his path. Now he's already had to let Anderson catch up on him a little bit from that first touch, but his second touch is a good one, and it's the only good touch of the 4 that he takes. He pushes the ball forward into space, and now you see he's able to get up some speed, get away from Anderson, and what he should do here with his third touch, in my opinion, is a touch we saw Ekitike do against Frankfurt. You need to try and take this touch over here. And that just eliminates Anderson from the game completely, and it opens up so much more of the goal for him to shoot at. But he doesn't. His third touch takes him here, and if I show you, he goes from here, where he's now about to take a touch. He's outside the box, okay? And it ends up here. His touch, he's gone this way. It's really poor. And now he's got a really difficult finish. I mean, Leno is comfy. Anderson has got a little bit of pressure on him. He's not set properly on his left foot. You see he's doing this sort of aeroplane thing with his arms. He's trying to get his balance. He's not really a great striker of the ball on his weaker foot anyway. Gakpo is going to take a real perfect strike to find the ball in that far corner. He's going to have to hit it really low and hard past Leno, or he's going to have to slice it and end up in this top corner. None of that happens, guys. He completely mishits it, and it sort of bobbles harmlessly wide. It doesn't really pose any threat whatsoever, and it was a decent chance squandered once again by us. Now compare this to the ruthlessness of Fulham in their first attack of the game. It took them about 20 minutes to have this attack. It might have been less, might have been 15 to have this attack. And they score from it. They'd barely had the ball, and our defending for this goal is absolutely shambolic. It really is. And it's so annoying because it's so preventable. If you look at this, here we are. We're in our 4-4-2. This is the 4-4-2. We've obviously got the defence behind the midfielders here. Fulham have the ball. Now, Tom Kearney is a midfielder. He's come onto the ball. Now, we're saying, with Gakpo and Wirtz not even bothering to go and press him, we're saying to Fulham, that's fine. You can have the ball there. But if you tell a team, that's fine, you can have the ball there, that means that it should not then be easy for them to pass the ball forwards. Because if you're allowing the defence to have the ball and not committing bodies onto defenders, that means that you should be able to screen passes into midfielders. Now, what I mean by that is, when Sasha Lukic shows for this ball in here, Cody Gakpo should constantly be looking, where is he? Over his shoulder. Where is Lukic? And Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister should all be telling Gakpo, left shoulder, right shoulder. It's very basic communication, right? If he's not going to go press Tom Kearney, he should be stopping this pass from happening. But just look how easy it is. Lukic just continues to jog into this space and finds this pass. Now, immediately, Fulham have broken one line of press. Now, it's not a major thing. They haven't got anywhere fast with that line-breaking pass, but it just forces Liverpool back just a little bit. You see, McAllister has to backtrack. Everybody has to backtrack a little bit because you can't just constantly push forward when a team breaks line of press. You have to drop off. You have to give yourself a little bit of, pitch to maneuver with. Now, Gakpo tries to recover. He sprints back. And he forces the ball to come to Cuenca. Now, because Liverpool have been forced back in that very, very simple but very easy line-breaking pass, Fulham can now take yards, and they push us back even further. But this is where the problems really start to happen on this goal. We've already seen them at the front. Now they happen at a much more dangerous part of the pitch, the back. Now, Harry Wilson, who's here, has come off of his wing, and he's took up a really difficult position. He's took up like an inside number 10 position. Smith Rowe's got one on the other side. This is sort of how Ruben Amorim, who obviously has been sacked from United, he normally played at United with two sort of wide men who took in as number 10s. Now, Harry Wilson's taking up this position. What frustrates me about this goal is he's the one who's going to score, and it's so preventable. There's so many things wrong here. And let's start with Szoboszlai. He's looking at Harry Wilson in this still image. He's looking right at him. He knows Harry Wilson is in a dangerous area, but he should also know that Harry Wilson isn't his man, and he does know that, and I'll show you how I know he knows that in a second. His man is either the ball, okay, or what I would prefer, Anthony Robinson. Because Gakpo can go and do the ball. You've always got to think about what is the safest thing for me to do as a defender here. Do I need to rush out here, or can Cody Gakpo do it? Yeah, he can. So Gakpo should go and press the defender. Or if he doesn't go and press him, Szoboszlai should still go over and screen Robinson or stand near Robinson, okay? So that's Szoboszlai. Now Gravenberch. Gravenberch is running somewhere. I don't really know where. He's running with quite an intent, but he's not looking really at Wilson. He's looking more out wide. He just knows that because the ball's shuffled across, he needs to shuffle across. So he's not doing anything terribly. But again, what we're going to see is he does not screen Harry Wilson or Raul Jimenez when this ball is eventually played. You'll see that in a second too. Now, Conor Bradley, who's just behind my head, you can see his legs. He is in an interesting position, and he's definitely to blame for this goal, at least some part, with Szoboszlai. He is thinking at the minute, well, my man is Robinson. I've got to deal with Robinson on this wing. But Szoboszlai and Bradley should talk. Wilson's in such a difficult position that Bradley has to come narrower for me. And if Szoboszlai comes over here, Bradley comes in here, and Gravenberch moves in here and then stands in front, this goal does not happen. It's as easy as that. If everybody just does this, the ball can't come to Wilson, and if it does, he's got nowhere to go. Now, the ball doesn't come directly to Wilson, it comes to Raul Jimenez. And let's have a look at the centre-backs. So, here we see Konate is, for me, out of position. And Jamie Carragher has analysed this goal on TV, and he focused on the position of Konate and Van Dijk, and he called it lazy defending from the two of them. He said they've got central, and the idea is that they stay central. Jimenez has done this on purpose. He stayed right in the middle of the pitch. And when this ball goes over here, Konate needs to shuffle across, and so does Van Dijk. And I agree with him. I agree. This space is too big. Konate should shuffle across the same way Bradley should get narrower, and all the defence should shuffle this way, except Bradley, who should cover this space. Now, that would also help. McAllister also, maybe you could say, could shuffle across, but I leave him out of this blame. Anyway, let's move on. So now Cuenca is about to play the pass. This is how I know Szoboszlai knows that Harry Wilson is a threat, because he is pointing at him, telling somebody, please mark Harry Wilson. You've got to mark him, he's dangerous. Now, Wilson is already aware this ball is not coming to him. You see, he's running away from the ball. He knows he wants it either over the top or he wants what happens. And that makes me think that Fulham probably worked on this type of goal, and Carragher thought the same when he analysed. Now, Bradley, again, you can see his feet behind my head. He is focused on Robinson. He is not at all concerned with running back in this way and covering Harry Wilson, blocking his run. And Jimenez is making his movement. Gravenberch has just got completely lost. I don't know where he's going. He thinks he's tracking Wilson, but we've just got it all wrong. It's just a big mess. Szoboszlai should be out here. Gravenberch should be here, screening this pass, which is the one that comes. Bradley should be in here. Konate should be here. That's what should be happening. Now, instead, what happens is Gravenberch and Szoboszlai both run this way. Bradley runs this way. Konate runs this way, and nobody stops this pass. It's shocking. It's honestly so bad. So the ball comes to Jimenez. You see, all of our players now are out of position. Szoboszlai's out of the game. Gravenberch's out of the game. Bradley's out of the game. Konate's out of the game. Even Van Dijk's out of the game. McAllister's out of the game. Out of the game. Out of the game. Out of the game. Everybody out of the game. Jimenez flicks it on brilliantly. You see now Gravenberch, he's the one who ends up closest to Wilson when he scores. He's had to chase him. Konate is here. They're not even close. This goal should never have happened, but it did. It's just bad communication. Really easy to play against. Not compact enough. Just so poor. Okay, and here's another image of it. You can see just how clear it is what we should do. This space is just way, way, way too big. Like, I'm going to say it one more time. Konate should shuffle across here. Van Dijk should then shuffle across here. Bradley should fill in this space. Szoboszlai should come out here. And Gravenberch should either stop this ball coming in here or this ball coming in here. All he has to do is move 5 or 10 yards either side. And if Jimenez even gets this ball and Gravenberch goes with Wilson, if the other players do what they're supposed to do, he wouldn't be able to flick it, around the corner like that for him to go through. So we move on now. Liverpool attacking ourselves. One of our rare attacks in this first half where we actually had a bit of a transition. Szoboszlai on the ball is going to play this one out to Wirtz. And he is the only player in the team, really, who's capable of taking a player on one-on-one at the minute. So he is going to go at Cuenca. He's going to try and beat him and get a cross in. He does exactly that, gets a cross in along the ground. Great chance, to be honest. Kind of underrated how good of a chance this is. And Jones is able to flick the ball with his heel, tries to get a decent effort in. It's actually a good effort, good block from Castagna, who followed him all the way and blocks it. Now, decent effort from us, but this was about as good as we were in the first half. Now, the second half starts, and we were better in the second half, definitely, but here we see more of our deficiencies, especially defensively and winning duels in the middle of the pitch. Now, Jimenez again has come short. He's received the ball to feet. We haven't screened it. We just never screen passes. Gravenberch and McAllister, I said this in the ratings, they're about as protective as a house with no door on it. It's just come in and rob us season. It really is. Jimenez this time actually miscontrols the ball and Gravenberch manages to get his body in the way. We should never lose this ball. There's so many Liverpool players around the ball. We should never lose it. But of course we do. Jimenez just fights for it, gets around Gravenberch, pokes it away, ends up falling to Smith Rowe. And now all of a sudden we're basically 3-on-1 or 3-on-3 if you want to say these two are still involved in the action. The ball comes to Kearney, and now we're certainly 2-on-1. Kearney is a left-footed player, so this pass is certainly one that's on. If he executes it right, they probably score again. We're very, very lucky that they didn't. And this is why when Arne Slot's saying, I don't understand how we're losing games. Fulham didn't create any chances. And he doesn't say this just about Fulham, by the way. He says this all the time. I can't really sympathise with him because they are creating chances. And this is an example. If Alisson isn't off his line fast, or this pass from Kearney goes more towards Wilson and not Alisson, they score again here. We see more of this. Liverpool being a bit more aggressive in our press now. Okay, this is Kearney on the ball again. We've got players around him being a little bit braver, a little bit more intensity to our play. And Kearney plays the ball to Jimenez again, coming short. We don't screen it, but this time Konate is much more aggressive. He's on Jimenez, and Liverpool managed to win this ball back. It comes to Conor Bradley. Konate gives Jimenez a shove as well, which helps force him to give the ball away. And Bradley, who does excellently for this goal, does a very, very simple thing. He just runs forward with pace. It's very easy. He doesn't let any of these Fulham players get back in position, which is something we do all the time. He just runs forward. And he runs all the way, unchallenged, into the box. And by this point, like I said, Fulham have had to draw players towards him. Everybody is drawn towards the ball because you have to stop the ball at a certain point. And that opens up this little pathway for him to poke the ball through to Wirtz, which he does brilliantly. And Wirtz very calmly just tucks the ball away with his left foot. Now, he thought he was offside, and so did I, and so did everybody who thought he was offside. And there's been lots of pictures going around of him being on or offside, but there's a few deceiving ones. I believe this one, you can see how he's onside. I believe this is the one VAR probably used. I don't know that for sure. But you see Bradley looks like there. He's just made contact with the ball. There might even be a frame before this. He's actually made contact with the ball. Seems to be almost off his toe there. And Wirtz is just about level with Diop. I mean, he's just about level. It's very tight. We're very, very lucky to get the goal. But we do get the goal, and Florian Wirtz scores again from a central position. Guys, notice when Wirtz gets this ball, he's central. He's not stood out here getting the ball. He's not. That's not where we want him. Okay, Now we see Cody Gakpo on the ball in that area that we see inverts so often. And this is another reason why Gakpo can be so annoying for Liverpool fans at the minute, is because he never does anything like this. He does it here and it's brilliant. He gets at Jimenez, he just goes right round him on the outside. He can do it. He goes right round him, leaves him for dead completely, gets in a really, really dangerous area. And now when you're here, you've got to think, get your head up. Can you find the pass? Can you find somebody in the middle? Even manages to take another touch, get further in. Can he find Bradley? Can he maybe just poke this one through this gap to Jones to come onto? It's difficult, but is it possible? Can he fire it here? Maybe for Van Dijk to come onto. Again, difficult, but is it possible? Could he go through Kearney's legs? Instead, he has a shot, and I just don't ever think that's the right decision. This is another reason why Gakpo's so annoying, is because he just makes the wrong decision a lot of times. He likes to shoot. He takes a shot, he goes into the side net, and it's another waste from us. Move on. This is another opportunity for Fulham, where in a game they had no chances in, according to our manager, or hardly any. This is another one where they hit the bar. Just from nothing, completely from nothing. Fulham have the ball at left back, we have players around it. We don't get close enough to the ball. Robinson knocks one over the top, and as if by magic, Raul Jimenez, who isn't the quickest player in the world, let's be totally honest, is through. So through, it's unbelievable. And Alisson, again, does brilliantly, comes out, but then makes a little bit of a mistake, and he actually spills the ball out of his box, and Wilson is alive to the situation. He gets onto it and tries to chip everybody here, tries to do the dink. And I think we're quite lucky here, to be honest, because he wants that dink. He's a scorer of spectacular goals. That's definitely in his nature. What I think he could do here is there a world where he can just curl this one round into the goal? I think there really is. I think we're quite lucky. Anyway, he goes for the chip. He almost scores. It hits the bar, and it bounces off to Van Dijk, who I had to lead this one in because this is just madness. His decision here to kick the ball back over his own goal is absolutely insane. And I don't understand why he did it still. I don't know why he doesn't just kick this ball away or not do that. That can't be conventional defending. But anyway, we do survive. We are lucky in that situation. Now, 93rd minute of the game here, or 94th, we have players committed forward. You see Van Dijk in the box. Chiesa's on now as a striker. Szoboszlai still playing in field. Verts off the pitch at this point. Gakpo on the left. Gakpo on the left means Gakpo is going to try and cut in. So that's exactly what he does. Runs inside, cuts in. Adama Traore actually gets a tackle on the ball, but Gakpo still somehow manages to get the ball to go to Gravenberch. We switch sides. Now, Gravenberch here plays this one to Bradley. I'm going to be really harsh. This is why we are where we are in our football, is that we do everything a little pass too slow or a touch too long or something like that. This ball's going to go out to Frimpong, who's wide right, but can Gravenberch just do it in one pass? Can he find him in one ball? Instead, he has to go short to Bradley, who then has to take a touch. Then he opens his body up and plays it out to Frimpong. Thiago Alcantara was the master at this. He would just miss players out. The tempo of the game was controlled completely by him. We don't have that at the minute. We do not have a tempo controller in our whole team. Bradley gets the ball and does eventually play it out to Frimpong, who's one-on-one. And what Frimpong does here, I absolutely love it. I really, really do. He just gets the ball, doesn't do anything fancy, doesn't do anything complicated, just gets the ball out of his feet and delivers a wicked cross. It's a really good cross. There's pace on it. It's a good height, difficult for the goalkeeper, around the defenders, gives the attackers a chance. It's brilliant. Anderson can't get to it. Gakpo gets it at the back post, who, to be fair to him, made a good run, is there at the back post to finish. And he does that. He finishes, and this should have been the game. We should have won 2-1, but the worst was yet to come. Fulham get a throw-in last minute of the game, and now I understand Liverpool have been so bad from notably corners, but set pieces in general this season. Think of the Brentford game. The long throws caused us so many problems. So in this situation, last minute of the game, got all our players are defending the box, except two. We've got Frimpong is on Kevin, and Chiesa is on, I think that's Berger there, and then the throw-in taker was Robinson. And we've left everybody else in the box. We're saying we're going to head this away. We're fully expecting a long throw. But as soon as Fulham go short, I think our players have got to try and get out a little bit, especially when the ball comes back. Once this ball comes back here, how all of our players are still so deep is beyond me. I cannot cannot understand it. It's completely baffling. Van Dijk, Gomez, Kanate, all these players, they've got to get out to Harrison Reed. And even on the one before it, when Kevin's got the ball, you know, can McAllister get out? Can Kirkes get out? Can Szoboszlai get out? These players who are not, in there to head the ball away as much. They don't need to block anymore. Can they get out and stop Van Dijk and Kanate zonal marking and pass their men on? Can Szoboszlai say, look, Van Dijk, Diop's your man. Kanate, Anderson's your man. And can they get themselves out to the edge of the box? Because Harrison Reed, who's going to score from here, by the way. Now, yes, this is his first goal in 3 years. He's played a total of 7 minutes in the Premier League this season. He's barely played 200 minutes in the Premier League over the last 2 seasons. This was his second touch of the game. He's never going to score this shot ever again. He's scored 8 goals in his entire senior career. 8. Okay, this is a freak goal, and it's never ever going to happen again. And it probably is the most notable moment of Harrison Reed's entire career. I don't want to say it's the best moment because it might not be, but it's certainly the most noteworthy. And it's unlikely, sure. 999 times out of 1,000, this doesn't go in. But you certainly increase his chances if nobody closes him down. He's a professional footballer at the end of the day. He can strike a football. If you go and close him down, I bet you the chances of him scoring it, if they are 1 in 1,000, they maybe go to 1 in 2,000, 1 in 5,000. The point is, it shouldn't be this simple for him to just get the ball out of his feet and line up a shot, which is exactly what he does. He takes all the time in the world. Van Dijk comes out a little bit, but not enough. He's expecting Harrison Reed to have a bit of a bad shot here. Maybe he can block it. He doesn't fly out, and really close him down. And of course, we know what happens. Reed belts the ball in the top corner, and Fulham get the draw. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video, and I really do hope that you did enjoy it. And if you did, please do click that like button. We are trying to get to 30 likes on all the videos. So if you did enjoy the video today, please do click that like button. Please remember to do so, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers, so if you want to click subscribe and help me get there, that would be much appreciated. Podcast listeners, 5-star rating and reviews, follow the show, all that good stuff. You know the drill by now. Guys, the videos are coming thick and fast at the minute because the games are coming thick and fast. I hope you enjoyed the analysis of this one. I'll have the preview tomorrow for the Liverpool funeral, maybe. Arsenal away, a big game. I can't say I'm too excited, but we'll see how it goes. I will have the preview out for that tomorrow, hopefully, barring anything crazy at work. And then obviously the ratings on Thursday. So I hope you enjoyed today. Let me know if you did in the comments below, and I'll be back tomorrow to speak to you ahead of the Arsenal game. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.